So I just have a quick question, and it's really around uh, how can you rest as awareness and participate in normal everyday activities that because you've been playing this character for like most of your life, and so like for example, I'll give you my specific example. I've been doing some of this work for a while now, and I've had moments where I was able to this the seed awareness and sort of almost see myself as any other object within my awareness and feel this looseness where objects and experiences were just coming in and out and felt a lot of love with no subject. I felt like a deep connection, and then my I support a football team, and that came about. I started being a fan again, and I lost that. Right, it's gone, and I was like, oh, like that. So I have this like conflict. Do I need to like? There's so many hats that I wear in my life, and that I have a family, I have a daughter, and like do I need to give all of this up in order for me to have that experience of being aware of that looseness, like how do I reconcile? I don't want to go to like an ashram or something like to I don't want to give this life up, but at the same time I want to have that um uh I want to be more at peace. Let's say, yeah.
I used to be a bond trader on Wall Street. If I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have had to leave my job. It has got every experience is perfect for your own liberation. And what I'm curious about is, can you describe what you mean by you lost it? You started supporting a football team. What were the actions that you observed that made you feel like you'd lost this sense of awareness?
So I think that when it comes to um my football team, I'm a fan, so I support them, and I get a sense of like achievement. I think my ego likes achievement, and through them beating another team, I get engaged in that because I feel like through them achieving, I achieve, and I get pleasure through that. I I I follow the whole story. I'm really enmeshed in that whole story, and but through that, then I also feel the pain of my team's losing. I suddenly start feeling fear because they're about to lose, and I'm like engaged in that whole play basically.
So yeah. So there's often a misunderstanding that when we have these very clear, palpable experiences of awakening, we conflate the body's reaction. Maybe it's peace, calm, light. We equate that with the awakening, but that's not the awakening. That's the body mind responding to the the consciousness recognizing itself. So then what happens is we start to think that it must look a certain way. But all it is that when you're watching this team and you're being excited that it's winning, there is the stability of the knowing of the winning. So in that moment, you rest as the joy of winning. So, and only when you remember, you don't force it, but just when you remember and it's going, you're getting excited, you just rest as the knowing of the excitement. And that is enough to remind you that you are not the ebb and flow. You're the witness of the ebb and flow, and you completely allow it. And then when the team loses, I hope they don't, but when the team loses, you watch the ebb and flow dissolve that way. And in fact, your football match, I'd go more often. Like, that is a great way. It's a great place to become more familiar with the experience of rising in excitement, falling in, and then after a while, you'll start to see that there isn't much different. There's nothing really different between them losing or winning. There's just you there as an observing presence. And as you practice this, after a while, you become increasingly confident that who you are doesn't change no matter what appears. Doesn't change. There's always, in any experience, a goal is just about to be scored. If you look, there you are, your true self, just resting. And when the goal lost, whatever, it's just there. It's always there. It's there when you're in the line to buy the ticket. It's there on the way to the match. It's there on the way home from the match. It's there while you're saying, I'm no longer awake because I watched a football game, right? It's literally never leaves. And all of these little experiences that we say changed the nature of our true self, that's the time to observe, does it change? Then you can start to look at, is there like a more deeper inquiry, is who is the one who is excited? Who is the one that's sad? Try and find that. It's like thoughts, sensations, words, and emotions appear. And the ego is a figment that appears, is created by that. So words, experiences, images, sensations appear, and the ego is the illusory self that takes shape within that. But you can't find it. No thoughts, no ego. No, where does it go when you fall asleep? Right? You wake up, and the ego's job is to conduct the separate self throughout life. So the ego is a very positive thing. So you look at it to see it doesn't actually exist in its own right. It's a vehicle for engagement. And that's all it is. It's not a problem. You can enjoy the football match, those arise. You know, most of these things you're not even in control of anyway. Right? Something happens and then there's a response. And then there's conscious observing it all. And all we have to do by resting as awareness is we allow this separate self to be to flow without attachment. And we still enjoy, we still have preferences, right? We still have preferences, but we're just not as attached, right? So where it tends to go to is, as it matures in your life, is you go to the football match, you don't even think about consciousness, awareness, meditation. You just enjoy the football match. And there's a sense of whatever it is, it is. It's like, it becomes instinctive. It's called instinctive recognition, right? It's people who have these, who go on this journey of awakening, first they have huge, like maybe not always, but they can have a realization. Then they have this stage where they think, am I awake? Am I not awake? This is the stage of doubt. Am I awake? Am I not awake? Then they start to realize, I do feel more free. I am less attached to things. And after a while, it just goes away. It's like before awakening, you do the laundry. After the awakening, you do the laundry. It just becomes an inbuilt recognition. And then you just enjoy your experience of life as it is. There's just a wisdom there. I said it to I was talking to Ray. You start to be informed by consciousness. So let's say you had a disastrous football match and all of your friends are very sad. You would be the one that would offer the stability. Right? That's what starts to happen. It becomes more of a service to others. So yeah, it's a very beneficial thing to do. I say enjoy more. And when it comes to the family, it's the same thing. Every experience is absolutely perfect for waking up. Every experience is perfect for waking up. This doesn't mean there isn't some benefit to isolated time, to meditative time, so on and so forth. But you can absolutely wake up in the midst of life. And that is the primary difference between the inward path and tantric path, tantric as in Tibetan Buddhism path, is you use your life as the way. You use your life as the way. I've been doing that now for nearly 20 years. Every experience I've had, my approach to it is to clarify as awareness. And one last thing I'll say here. You know where you're not seeing consciousness because it's whatever you avoid, right? So perhaps a guidance could be when you go to your football match, just allow yourself to be yourself completely unrestrained without concern about whether you are awake or not, and just keep a little bit of resting in consciousness while that's happening.
Thank you.